First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful like the house of David. Let's get into this. This is going to be a video on, blessings come with tribulations. Blessing comes with tribulation. Because, I'm going to get it. Because to get these, to receive them blessings, you're going to have to go through it. You're going to have to go through it. To receive them blessings, you're going to have to go through it. This is Acts. I'm going to get this first before I get into the lesson. Well, that's the lesson. This is Acts chapter 14, verse 22. Listen, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So, and that, the kingdom, that's the ultimate blessings. But in this life, to reap those blessings, you're going to have to go through it. You're going to have to go through it. We're going to have to go through We're going to have to go through Jacob's trouble. We're going to have to go through Jacob's trouble. It's called Jacob's trouble because what is going to happen to the 12 tribes? It's going to happen to the 12 tribes. And to receive them good blessings, you're going to have, just in your daily life. Until, the times of Jacob's trouble, you're still going to have to go through tribulation and get them blessings. And I want to get an account that proves that. Just listen. Because you can, count that to, you can spiritually add this to what you might be going through in Jacob's trouble, but also in your daily life. Let's listen to this. This is Genesis chapter 30, verse 25. Listen, it said Jacob's I like that. It said Jacob's prosper. Listen to this. And it came to pass when Rachel had born Joseph that Jacob said unto Laban, send me away, that I may go unto mine own place in my own country. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go, for thou knowest my service which I have done thee. And Laban said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, for I have learned by experience that Yahweh has blessed me for thy sake. And he said, appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. And he said unto him, thou knowest how I served thee, and how thy cattle was with me, for it was little which thou hadst before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude. And the Lord have blessed thee since my coming, and now when I shall provide for my excuse me, and now when shall I provide for my own house also? And he said, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I will feed and keep thy flock. And hold on, I'm gonna pause right there because that's how he Abraham's son. He don't want to say, Laban made me rich, like how Abraham didn't want that other guy. I forgot who he was. To say, he has made Abraham rich. It was all about. It was about the integrity. The integrity, like you, he, you don't want that over you. Like you don't want another man be like, yeah, I made you rich. Israelites today, they hate that, especially Israelite man. They hate hearing the niggas at the end. I made you rich, man. Man, I will put money in your pocket, man. Israelites hate that, boy. Israelites hate that. You know, that's just something that came to mind. That's keeping it your integrity, because ain't nothing like having your own. Cause what the scripture say, the borrower is subject to the lender. Roughly paraphrasing, the borrower is subject to the lender. And Jacob knew this. Abraham knew it, and that's why he said that. Again, let's read verse 31 again. And he said, what shall I give thee? And Jacob said, thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I will feed and keep thy flock. And I will pass through all thy flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and all the spotted cattle and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and the speckled among goats, and of such shall be mine hire. So shall my righteousness answer for me in the time to come, when it shall come for my hire before thy face, every one that is not speckled and spotted among goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, behold, I would it might be according to thy word. So they made this agreement. And because I'm finna read it, but once you get into it, because Jacob was out there with the flock, tending to him. He already knew what to do. He already knew how what to do, how to go about it, how to increase the flock. Because he was working with him. And Laban, he was just he just had the cattle. He probably didn't have that. He probably had the understanding, but not as much as dealing directly with him like Jacob. That's my little insight. But we're gonna continue. Verse 35. And he removed that day the goats. Excuse me. And he removed that day. Excuse me. And he removed that day the he goats that were stricken and spotted, and all the she goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among sheep, and gave them into the hands of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey betwixt himself and Jacob. And Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flock. And Jacob took him rods of green poplar, and of hazel and chestnut tree, and peel white stalks in them, and he made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had peeled before the flock, and in the gutters and in the waters through when the flock came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. So he knew how to make he knew how to force, you know, you know, force them, force the birth with these flocks, force birth with sheep and stuff like that. Like he knew what to do. He knew what to do. Like he knew how to quickly bring forth. You know, he had that know-how. Verse 39. And the flocks conceived before the rods and brought forth cattle ring stricken and spotted and spotted, speckled and spotted, excuse me. And Jacob did separate the lambs and set the faces of the flock towards the ring stricken, and all the brown in the flock of Laban, and he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle. And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they may conceive among the rods. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in, so the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger were Jacob's. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maid servants, and men servants, and camels and asses. You see, after he did all that, he got that blessings. He got that blessings now. Look, blessings come with tribulations. Blessings come with tribulation. You gotta go through tribulations and get that blessings. Get them blessings, because it just tells you how he went. You know what he did to get that increase. But now we're gonna go to the next chapter and show you what he went through. You know, show you what he went through during that time. Because you in the chapter we just read and what we just read, we saw what he did and how he got the increase, how he got that blessings. But this I'm finna this next chapter finna illustrate the tribulations he went through to get that blessing. Now we're finna jump to verse 36. Listen. And Jacob was wroth and told with Laban, and answered and said to Laban, what is my trespass? What is my sin that thou... Okay, hold on, let me explain something. Because, this part is, Jacob just packed up and left. Because he knew Laban was really didn't want to let him go. And that he was starting to become hated of Laban's sons. And Laban, he started to lose favor with him. Because he saw how Jacob was just doing so good. So Jacob, he packed up and left. And Laban chased him down. Just give me a little rundown of what happened. Again, okay. Now back to the scriptures. This is Genesis chapter 31, verse 36. And Jacob was wroth and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said unto Laban, what is my trespass? What is my sin? That thou hast so hotly pursued after me, whereas thou hast searched all my stuff. What hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, and that they may be judged betwixt us both. Listen, he finna talk about that tribulation he had to go through to get that blessing, to get that increase. This 20 years have I been with thee, that ewes and thy she goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have not I eaten. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hands did I require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. He had to deal with thieves and robbers, taking sheep and stuff like that. If a beast, if a lion or a bear came or a wolf came to, rip up some, kill some sheep, he took that loss. He like, I can't get this to Laban. I'm gonna take it. This my loss. Verse 40. Thus I was in the listen. Thus I was in the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. That's how bad it was for him. That's how bad it was for him. And spiritually, this is the same thing that the men that go on the highways and byways go through. Have to suffer through them elements. Have to suffer through them elements to feed the sheep. They're suffering through them elements to feed the sheep, showing themselves to be Jacob, showing themselves to be the sons of Jacob. In verse 41. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I've served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle, and thou hast changed my wages 10 times. He said Laban played him 10 times. Laban did him dirty 10 times. You hear that? Laban did him dirty 10 times. And these Jacob, our people are patterns after our father, and you know how much Jake in the streets hate being played. You know how much you hate being played. Listen, except the power of my father, the power of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely thou hast sent me away now empty. The Most High have seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. You see, that's 31, verse 30. Chapter 30 has shows you the increase. He shows you what he did to get the increase and stuff like that, and how he handled the sheep and got the increase. But in chapter 31, it shows you the tribulations he had to go through to get that blessing, to get that blessing. You see, to get that blessing, you must go through tribulation. I'm gonna get this one. This is Hebrews chapter 12. I'm just starting verse 1. I want 2. This is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1. Whereas seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High. He knew the tribulation. Yahushua knew the tribulation he had to go through to get that blessing. And you, being the sons and daughters of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, remember this. Remember what your forefathers went through. Remember what Yahushua went through. Because to get to that blessing, to get that inheritance, as the world said, we must go through hell and hot water, or how it goes. I think it's hell and high waters, if I'm quoting that right. So hold on, we almost home with that. I hope you was edified. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to apostles and elders of great millstone, peace and blessings to hopefully the house of David. Until next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom.